along Central America's Darien Gap shows hundreds of military-aged Chinese men headed toward the U.S. Anthony Rubin owns muckraker.com, took that video and joins me now. Anthony, thanks for being here. Why are they coming? Are they seeking this? No problem. Why are they coming? Are they seeking asylum or something potentially more nefarious?
I mean, listen, I'm not here to speculate. I'm going to let your audience watch the video and you guys could come to your own conclusion. I don't really want to get into all that, but the video speaks for itself. I think I put up two of, showing the line of these military-age males that are lining up to get on these buses to come up here. That's happening every day, multiple times a day down there. So, again, I'm not going to speculate. If you have a more specific question, we can get into that. It certainly doesn't look good. I'll tell you that much. Certainly doesn't look good.
Just from a geography perspective, I'll press you on that. If they wanted to come to America, which is here, from China, which is here, why would they come through Latin America, which is all the way down there, and much more indirect?
Right. So, I mean, this would be for people who can't fly into the U.S. directly. So what they do is they get on a flight and they fly into some South American country. Then from there, they would go to Colombia, they would go across the jungle, pop out in Panama, and then they would head up to the United States. But this is going to be for people that can't fly into the U.S. directly, because you're correct, it wouldn't make sense. You'd rather just fly into the U.S. and overstay your visa. This is for people that don't have that access for whatever reason.
From January to March, there were 2,200 Chinese migrants who crossed the Darien Gap. In the same 3-month span last year, only 71 Chinese migrants were recorded crossing the gap. Why do you, in your individual capacity, fear these individuals, or do you fear these individuals are going to do something?
Let's put it this way. I do think that there's people that are in these groups that are probably legitimately trying to get over here that are good people. I mean, that's for sure. But here's what you have to keep in mind, right? The Communist Chinese Party, that's a very powerful group abroad. When you see these videos, you see that these people do not want their face on camera. Now, for me, there's two possible scenarios there, right? Either, number one, they are foreign actors that are coming over here for nefarious reasons, right? Number two, these are people that are afraid of some sort of retribution by the Communist Chinese Party. Now, obviously, if it's number one, that's a big problem. We don't even have to get into that. That's obvious why that's an issue, right? If it's number two, well, then what does that mean? That means that these people are going to be beholden to the Communist Chinese Party once they're in here. Oh, you're in the United States. OK, well, we're going to threaten your friends and family back home in China unless you do X, Y, and Z. You see what I'm saying? So either way, it's still a Trojan horse. So that's the way I see it. So either way, it's very dangerous. I mean, you can't allow this to just continue and have all these people pouring across the border. I mean, it just will not work.
You also spoke to a lot of these individuals, and the following video shows the Chinese version of TikTok, Douyin, showing its anti-American propaganda. You talked to them about it. Let's watch all this.
Is something bad, or what is this?
Yes, bad news.
What does it say?
Almost no allies supports America to hold sanction on China. That means the U.S. starting new opium war.
Okay, so that's you showing these individuals Douyin and going over it with them. If America is so bad, why do they want to come here?
That's a very good question. You should ask them. I'll tell you what, the migrant who showed me that video right now is in Nicaragua. He's probably going to be in here in about 2 weeks. So if you want, I could follow up with him when he gets in here. We'll ask him.
Please do.
But that's a very good question. Again, this is why it's a very, very dangerous situation. And it's not just China. I mean, there's people from over 100 countries that are pouring up here. And, yeah, you would ask yourself why they're coming in here. Some people are looking for a better life. That's for sure. I'm not denying that. Others, again, looking very sketchy, a little bit strange. Put it lightly.
Sure. In talking to these individuals and watching that video, do you get the sense that that is what the average Chinese citizen, thanks to the efforts of the CCP, thinks about Americans?
It's kind of hard to say, because I did speak to a lot of them, and some of them do say that it's propaganda. But again, I don't even know if that's a Communist Chinese talking point. You know what I mean? That when you start talking to the Americans, go say X, Y, and Z and say that we don't believe this propaganda. I'm not really too sure. I think that it's hit or miss. I think certainly some of them are having that viewpoint, the ones that buy into that. Some of them maybe see past it.
Let's remember, while they're watching that, We're watching dancing videos and ridiculous challenges that make us dumber and really hurt us as a country, yet they're learning about the ills of us and yet nevertheless still coming here. A lot of questions raised. Anthony Rubin, we appreciate you raising those questions. Thank you, sir.
Border Patrol agents are overwhelmed with the massive influx of illegal immigrants. The number are like anything we've ever seen. Border Patrol saying they have encountered 12,000 illegal immigrants on the southern border. That's on Tuesday alone. That's the highest daily total ever. Senator Lindsey Graham with this message for President Biden.
If you're awake, you better come up with a solution to a broken border before a bunch of people get killed. This is a national security disaster in the making.
Bill Melugin is at the border in Lukeville, Arizona. He is near a huge group of illegal immigrants now waiting to be processed. This matter just getting worse by the day, Bill.
It is, Julie, and CBP sources tell me in the last 24 hours alone, there have been just short of 10,000 migrant encounters here at our southern border, more than 3,000 of those happening right here in this Tucson, Arizona sector. We'll show you the situation here in Lukeville, Arizona, middle of nowhere, southern Arizona desert, 2 hours to the closest major city, where people continue to cross here illegally from all over the world. You can see the demographics here. All these guys, adult men, a lot from African countries. We talked to guys who came in from Mauritania, Morocco, Liberia, India, Syria, all over the place. Many of them telling us they first flew into South America, then traveled through a big handful of countries to get into Mexico, then went right through Mexico to the border here with the U.S., where they've crossed illegally, and they are expecting to be released into the United States and all have cities where they would like to go. We'll show you what it looked like earlier this morning. Take a look at this. Before the sun came up, we were shooting this video. It gets cold out here, so these migrants start campfires all over the place in an effort to stay warm. They'll go into the desert and pull brush out, light it up. They'll find trash. Basically anything they can find to stay warm out here, because it does get pretty chilly. And some of these guys have been camping out here for several days waiting for Border Patrol to process them. We talk about the nonstop flow here. Take a look at this video we shot late yesterday afternoon. There was another breach in the border wall, and you'll see masses of hundreds of people crossing illegally and then walking down the dirt path on this border wall right to where I'm standing giving you this live shot. Border Patrol is overwhelmed. They're trying to process people out of here as fast as they can, but it's hard because there is a never-ending supply of people coming through the border wall and crossing here illegally. We've had a chance to talk to a lot of the guys out here. Almost all of them have said they are not seeking asylum. They're here for opportunity, for work in the United States, or they want to link up with their family, and they all have cities they're planning to go to here. Take a listen. Where in the United States do you want to go?
Detroit.
California.
New York City.
Nueva York. New York City. I have family members there.
Miami. ¿Y a dónde vas en los Estados Unidos? ¿Qué ciudad?
Omaha.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Miami.
Puma.
Oklahoma?
Igual. Sur Carolina.
Español? Okay. And back out here live, you can see some of these guys down here. ¿De dónde son? Ecuador. ¿Y a dónde vas en los Estados Unidos? New York, New Jersey, ¿dónde? Chicago. All right, so you hear there, just a few blue cities right there. They're saying it's very cold. They don't have anything to cover their faces. A lot of them have been asking us for food. So you hear it right there, guys. All these migrants have different cities in the U.S. they'd like to go to. We hear a lot of those sanctuary cities, New York City and Chicago. We'll send it back to you.
Wow. All right, Bill Melugin, thank you very much. Republican Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa, members of the Armed Services Committee, and a U.S. Army combat veteran joins me now. I want to talk to you about, the issue, first of all, at the border. The migrant crossing, obviously is surging to historic levels. 12,000 illegal immigrants crossing the border on Tuesday alone. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that President Joe Biden, on the first day that he came into office, he made a grave mistake by getting rid of the previous administration's policies. He President Biden threw open the door to the United States of America. Now we have this humanitarian crisis at the border with, as you stated, over 12,000 people now per day entering the United States illegally. There is no no way to process all of these people. And of course, we know that simply stating you want a job in the United States of America is not a reason for asylum. So again, we had some of those policies right in the previous administration. President Joe Biden needs to own up to this, admit that he was wrong, and reinstate the policies of the past and allow us as Senate Republicans to proceed with our border policy changes.
There are major cities also struggling with a mass migrant influx. A new poll actually shows 85% of New York City voters are concerned about the city accommodating migrants. And in Massachusetts alone, hotels there have actually canceled bookings of veterans and their families for the Army-Navy football game being played in Foxborough this weekend. And those rooms are actually instead housing, you guessed it, migrants. And Senator, tell us about the letter that you wrote this week to the Biden administration demanding action.
Yes, these border patrol, the border policies that Biden has in place, which allowed all of these migrants to come into the United States, has now created an issue even this weekend at America's game, which is the Army-Navy game. We know that Massachusetts has laws in place, one of which is the the right to shelter law, which provides shelter for those that are refugees or illegal migrants coming into the United States. So what's happening now? All of those families that are attending this game on behalf of their midshipmen or cadet, those Army veterans, those Navy veterans that will be attending, even active duty personnel that are flowing into the Boston, Massachusetts area, they have had their hotel reservations canceled. Why? Yes, because of illegal migrants that are being housed by the city, by the state, in these hotels where reservations had previously been made. So instead of watching in the comfort of a hotel room for this Army-Navy game, we're housing illegals.
Yeah, and you just heard Bill Malhusian speak with a few illegals there, and many of the states they wanted to travel to were Democratic cities. Why? Because they're getting free housing. We've got multiple beautiful former luxury hotels here in New York City that have been shut down and they've been handed over to these migrants.